All right, let's do this. Today I got steak nachos. Oh, yeah, the bag says thank you. I got the steak nachos from authentic Mexican restaurant. Oh, that's so funny. Wait, I gotta show you what it says first. To go. So I went to an authentic Mexican restaurant to get steak nachos. If you are in it's Marietta technically. I won't say Atlanta because you know how y'all like to get. Y'all be like, that's not Atlanta. It's not. It's in Marietta. It's called Tacos La Villa. And in English it is Tacos La Villa. Yes. I just got regular nachos. Ooh, they look so good. I can't do a thumbnail like that. I'm so sorry. I'm starving, so let's just like get right into it. I got asada. Asada is steak, so I got steak nachos. Of course, that is like my favorite way to get nachos of all time. Got steak. It has beans. It has grilled onions on it. I like raw onions too, though, so I got that. Can you like ever have too many? Sorry, can you ever have too much onion? I want to do a story time today, but y'all gotta wait. Technically, you don't have to wait because you can fast forward to the part. But I have to stuff my face right now. It was so crowded in there today, guys. I think it's probably because I went at it's still lunchtime to some people. But they're also in a magazine for being like one of the best taco spots. I feel like this is so much better than the nacho fries everyone to give me on accident. I saw it on the receipt and I was like, hey, it says Papa's, but I just want chips. Because although I love fries, which I think we all know now, by now at least, fries can't beat tortilla chips when it comes to nachos. I mean, that's my opinion. Line number 2, I'm coming for you. Alright, story time. Story time! Wake up! I want to tell you about when I was almost in a cult. Yeah. I was almost in a cult and I didn't even know it. You know how, like, in those documentaries they say, everyone's like, oh, you're so stupid, like, why would you, like, be in a cult? That's so dumb. But it's like, you don't know what it is at first. Like, they package it as something else, I swear. They don't have cult written on the door or something. They don't. There's a lot of lime on my hands. There's a lot of lime on my hands. Like, there's a lot of time on my hands. I'm getting sidetracked. I just moved to Atlanta when this happened, and I did not have any friends. It's hard to make friends like when you're not in school and stuff anymore, you know, because everybody's doing their own thing and stuff like that. And it's just hard because, like, you know, when you're an adult and you have friends, you want to like have like keep the friends that you have. Like, nobody's really looking to make new friends. So when I first moved here, I knew no one, but you know, so, and it was okay. Like, sometimes it was lonely, yes, but I also had my family, you know, so it's like I wasn't like lonely and depressed or anything like that, but it was like, hey, you know, I would like a friend to go out with here and there. Pain comes back. So but it wasn't really something I was pressed about. But in my free time, what I would like to do, like when I wasn't working or anything like that, and it's like, yeah, Kyra, like you could have got like friends at work, but I don't know, like I try to stay away from that kind of thing. Well, at least I did, but I'm like realizing like now, like how hard it is to make friends, but I try to stay away from it because like sometimes not everybody you work with is your friend, guys. So it's like I just wanted to stay away from that just in case like those people don't mean me any good and just secretly like want me to be fired, you know, if we hang out and they like find some stuff on me. I mean, there's nothing like really to me in my life though that would get me fired. So yeah, but you never know, like somebody could really just be trying to catch you slipping. But when I wasn't working, I would you know, just be doing my hobbies at home. I love K-dramas, I love K-pop, stuff like that. So I'd watch stuff like that, but I still also wanted to learn how to speak Korean. I still do. Like I said, you know, I'm not the best speaking in Korean. I can read it. I know some words, but I can't do sentences. I wanted to like learn more, you know, just in my spare time because it wasn't really much else for me to do. And I downloaded this app called Hello Talk, and it's really cool. It's a language learning app. There's nothing bad about Hello Talk. Y'all can download it today. I mean, honestly, it's a lot different than like when it first came out. It wasn't the app's fault though. But yeah, so what it is it's an app, and you can talk to like different people like around the world that are trying to learn a language and also that are trying to teach a language. And that's what it's for. You know, I'll put the link below. Really cool. A lot of the features now you have to pay for though. So basically I was looking for a not basically, I mean that's what it was. I was looking for someone to teach me Korean. So I met this girl, a woman. She went by the English name Sean, and she's really cool to talk to, you know. And she asked me like, you know, oh, I see you're in Atlanta because like, you know, you can like show like where you're based in. She was based all the way out in South Korea. I was based in Atlanta, and she was like, I have some friends in Atlanta that are like that love like Korean culture and Korean music and outfits and shows and things like that, like you. So yeah, you should meet them, you know. So yeah, cool, you know, whatever. Yeah, awesome. She told me their names. I gotta give fake names now. Whoa, am I doing that? Am I giving fake names? Hold on, we gotta think of one. Claire and Nita. That's a little too close. That's a little too close. That's gonna mess me up at some point. It's okay, I'll edit it out if I mix a name up. The Blair part's not too close though. This the Nita part that's like scarily close. So their names were what? Blair and Nita. Yes. Okay. Moving on. She gave me their numbers. You know, I said, yeah, like let's draw like Facebook so you know I can find y'all, friend y'all, whatever. And we talked. And I was like, man, not only do they love Korean culture like me, but they're Christian. And those of you who don't know me, I am Christian. I could be a better Christian, but I believe in God. I'm non-denominational, just if you guys wanted to know that. Not Baptist or anything. I've been to a Baptist church, y'all. Y'all are lit. We met at a Panera, and it was so awesome. They were so cool. And it was like, hey, like, let's do a Bible study. I'm like, man, I never did a Bible study before. So yeah, you know, nobody was like really strange then. It was just, they were just so like nice and sweet and just soft spoken. Fast forward through that, we went to a basketball. No, we went to the aquarium. I got a basketball shirt from one of them, because they actually worked like with the very famous basketball team here. Say it like that. And Nita, she wants to be an actress. So we meet up like every week, and we like do something together. Go to a cafe or go to Panera or like, you know, just do things. We even went to the aquarium together. You know, it was awesome. It was fun. It's like, man, I got friends. I'm like, I'm going out. I'm doing stuff. I'm not just like home, just like watching K-dramas and doing nothing else. Because I was like 19 at the time, so it was like I couldn't really do much. So it was like, hey, Kyra, you should go to church with us. And I was like, yes, this is awesome. I've always wanted like friends to go to church with and stuff like that. So he was like, yeah, okay, Nita. I'm so proud of me for not messing that up. Nita, she's gonna pick you up. Awesome, great. Okay, boom, pull up. And I've been to this place before, and we just had like tea or something like that. Camera overheated, but we're back. So yeah, so when we pulled up to her house, it was, well, technically it's an apartment. She lives in an apartment, like downtown Atlanta. Lived. I don't know if she's still there. Like, cause you know, like I was 19 at the time. I'm like, oh, maybe, you know, we're going, and like, and she's like gonna get, like, you know, then we're all gonna like come out of her, maybe we're picking her up and we're going to church like that. No, we're getting out of the car. Nita's parking, and we're getting out the car. Church is at Blair's place. I'm like, okay, cool. When we went inside, there were a lot of Korean people there. It was like black people were the minorities, because Blair, whoa, I almost messed it up. Blair is black. Nita is black. Okay. Just so y'all can like keep up with the story. That's why. Don't be in my comments now talking about why you gotta tell everyone's race. Why does it matter? Just so you can picture this in your head. Okay, back to the message at hand. So it was mainly Korean people there for this church, and we all sang songs about being a bride of God. A lot of the songs mentioned being a bride of God. And I was like, maybe that's how they say it there in Korea. You know, I don't really know much about the Korean churches. I know some Koreans are Christian and some are Buddhist, and some just don't believe in anything. That's anywhere though. But that's a lot of their religion. So I'm like, okay, maybe they just sing it just differently. So, you know, I sing a lot of songs about being a bride of God, because when I go to church, I actually like to sing, you know. And yeah, so that was that time, and then church was over, and then everybody, you know, fellowshipped and spoke with each other and met each other, shook each other's hands, and there was even like nice desserts and stuff like that, like some of the wives made. They were delicious. I had a matcha cake. That's not the point of the story. You can't be in cults due to delicious moist matcha cake, guys. No. And that was cool. But like, the stuff that they were like saying about God sometimes like made me question, like, I don't remember reading anything about that in the Bible, you know. But they would always say, you have to interpret the Bible like this and like this to me. Like, it's not just plain old black and white. And I do think Blair had a point. Like, you can't just read the Bible just black and white. Like, some of it is a bit metaphorical. But it kept happening a lot. And I was just like, okay. I mean, that's how she sees it. This is a cheesy piece. I have a fork in my hand for fun, y'all. Yes. This time we hung out. We watched a movie at Blair's house. And she really, really, really wanted to watch her sonsing name, which is like a word for like teacher. So she always called him her sonsing name, and she was like, oh, you have to watch this video. Another lady was there that came, so it was me, Blair, and Nita, and some other lady came too. And we were like, just supposed to have like a girls' night, at Blair's house, and just have pizza and stuff like that. And like when you're watching like a show or a movie or anything, in this time frame, unfortunately, our attention spans are trash. We talked about this. Everybody's, because of cell phones. So it's like, you're going to end up picking your cell phone up just to check it, But it was just weird how they were so offended, like, when I picked up my phone, like, just to look and see that, because my mom texted me. They were so offended that I did that. And, like, the show we were watching was about, we'll say the pastor, so it's easier. The, sensei named the pastor's, life. They were like, oh, let's pause it. Like, the lady that came, it was like, hey, Blair and Nita, let's pause it. Well, Kyra has other things she's doing right now. We'll wait on her, because this is very important that she watch. I'm like, I love T.D. Jakes, and Stephen Furtick, and Joyce Myers, but, it's not that deep. If somebody picks up their phone and, like, we're watching, like, a documentary on their life, I'm not going to take it to heart, because at the end of the day, the pastor's not your God. But I was like, that's weird, but excuse me. Like, y'all going a little too hard. And they spoke about him a lot. But I was thinking, like, man, they must really love his preaching. But he didn't preach at any of, but he didn't preach at Blair's church. But it just put a bad taste in my mouth that night. It's just, like, so weird. And, so I went home that night. And then, like, the next, like, week or so, it was Sunday, and it was like, hey, like, let's do church again. This time, some girl, her name is, that was her English name. Like, can I give it out? I don't know. She still goes by it. It was funny because her name was, Kyla, and my name was Kyra, and they thought that was funny. I thought it was pretty cool, too. But she was coming from Korea to speak and be a speaker there at, the church, aka, Blair's apartment. But everybody was like, instead of having Kyra sit in on this one, Blair, how about you and Kyra go in your room and do a separate church? And I was like, I was just thinking, like, that's odd too. I just kept having a lot of that's odd moments, but I just kept rolling with them, man. Just kept rolling with them. It was the matcha cake. I'm kidding. But so I went in her room. That was the first time, because this is like third time at her place. I never saw her room. But y'all, she had a picture of Jesus on her wall. Next to Jesus was sensei name, the pastor. I think his name is Jeong Seok. I think that's what it is. And I can give this out. I can give that out. Jeong Seok. Yeah. And it was of like Providence Church. That was like the name of the church that they said that they are. Yeah, it's Providence. But they didn't tell me his name was Jeong Seok. They never ever mentioned his name. They always called him something name. Always. Something name. Always. So I didn't know his name. I didn't know that. I didn't know that information. That was the one we were watching the documentary on and everything like that. So we had a separate class, and I saw Jesus and something name side by side on her wall, and I was just like, you know. Sorry, I'm like picking on my lips. So it's like beans stuck to it. That's nasty, I know. My mom loves TD Jakes. She does. I have never seen anyone, let alone my mom, put a picture, and it was big, y'all. It was like that. It was big. I never seen anybody have a picture of their pastor framed like that and just boom in their bedroom wall. You know, okay. Some people are fans like that, I guess. So we learned and you know, just reading the Bible and stuff like that, and we're starting to get on who was coming back, but we didn't get a chance to finish that church session. So you know, Jesus is supposed to come back in the Bible. You know, it says Jesus is supposed to come back. So, but we didn't get a chance to finish because church was over. You know, we met Kyla, who came all the way from Korea. You know, we all met her. She was really cool. Like, no, to this day, like, she was really cool. But then, I almost messed it up. Blair, she like FaceTimed me like a couple days later, and she was like, hey, like, let's like do a Bible study. Well, first she texted me and said, do you want to do a Bible study? But honestly, I was starting to like not feel it, because it was like, I love my friends, but every time like I see them, we're not really talking much about us. We're just only talking about God. And like, I don't know, I'm not trying to say that's like wrong. I mean, it's great to talk about God, you know, I talk about God, I do, but we talk more about God than our own selves. Like, there has to be a balance. Goodness gracious, there has to be a balance. I'm sorry, fight me. But I said that's all we talked about. So she messaged me, was like, hey, do you want to you know, FaceTime? Well, technically like through Google Messages. I was not really into it, but I was a huge yes man back in the day. Oh my gosh, I was huge. So I didn't want to do the video chat through Google or whatever, Google Hangouts. Was not in the mood. But unfortunately I was a yes man, so I said yes. So we were just talking, you know, she's telling me about Bible reading, and she's reading it to me and stuff like that. And then she was starting to get back on the topic that we couldn't finish, about who is coming back, and they're going to be flying on like a cloud, but the cloud is actually people bringing him in, because, you know, you have to read the Bible like it's metaphorical. That's what Blair told me. So Jesus is going to come back on a cloud, but it's not a real actual cloud. It's people that's going to be bringing him in. Like, the people were the clouds to her, because like clouds are like light and airy and just like calm and like happy and stuff like that. And then she was like, next week I'm going to tell you who, you know, because he's going to have to come back, you know, with somebody else, I guess. So next week, we're going to talk about who is going to come back as Jesus. That tipped me off right there. It was a lot of stuff that did not feel right in my spirit, guys. And that conversation right there made me think, no, she's about to really sit here and try to tell me that this pastor is Jesus. I really feel like she's about to say that. So after that, I distanced myself from them like so far, because it wasn't just that. It wasn't just the obsession with the pastor. It was also like stuff, like odd stuff, like, because I wanted to be a model at the time. I still would love to be a model at the time, but unfortunately due to the age and the height, I'm not going to be able to, because I'm 26. So nobody, I mean, yeah, it's fine. Like, but usually that's another story. I wanted to be a model, and they were like, oh yeah, we do fashion shows in California every year. You should come out. We're about to have it actually in a couple weeks or like a month or something like that. We'll even pay for the ticket. It's great. It's awesome. I was like, no, I don't want to do that, guys. No, it's okay. Because like, one thing about me, I'm going to look stuff up. I looked up the fashion show that they were showing me, like, I didn't look it up, I'm sorry. They like sent me like a couple pictures, and then I was like able like to like further like look into it. It didn't talk about Providence or anything. I don't remember it doing that. It didn't say anything about Jeong, Seok or something like that, but they were saying like it honors like him and and God and stuff like that, the fashion show. But I looked and I was like, it's low-key lame. I saw it and I was just like not impressed. I was just like, I'm not gonna put myself into anything that does not look good, decent. At least it did not look decent. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And she's like, I didn't say it like that. I was like, no, thank you. I just don't want to do it. You know, I just like made an excuse. Like I just want to like stay more so home with my family. I just said it like that. But then she's also saying like, yeah, okay. Like she was like a little like surprised that I didn't want to like model, because I was modeling at the time and I had photo shoots and stuff I was doing. Nothing professional, but you know, building up my comp card and my portfolio. And she was like, oh, but you model so much. And then like, I don't know how she snuck this into here, but somewhere in the conversation she was like, oh yeah, and but you also like wear like a lot of dark colors when you model and just when you dress in general. And God wouldn't like his brides to be wearing dark colors. Like they should be wearing white colors, like they should be wearing light colors and stuff like that. And I was thinking like, huh? Like I was a yes man, but I was like, I'm not about to change my whole wardrobe up just because I prefer wearing darker colors than somebody else, you know? If that's what you guys like to do, fine. But I mean, they started wearing a couple like colors that were in black and here and there and stuff like that. I guess because I was modeling more so in dark colors, they didn't think God would like that. I don't know. To this day, that was another thing that put like a bad taste in my mouth, because it's like, now you're trying to tell me how to dress, and that's not okay. Your friend shouldn't be telling you how to dress, what colors you should wear. Like, what? If you don't like what I wear, then that sounds like you don't need to be my friend. But I just dismissed it. You know, I didn't like make like anything big out of it. I was like, oh, well, I like wearing, you know, what I like wearing. I don't think God sees it like that. I don't think God is looking like and judging people off of colors. I just said it like that, but it was nicer the way I said it, because I was a super sweet girl back at 19. But so fast forwarding back though. So she was gonna be like, okay, you sound tired, because the whole time I was like Google hangouting her, I just made myself like look like super like uninterested and like tired and stuff like that. It's childish, but I wasn't a mature 19-year-old. Yeah. Anyways, so she's like, oh, you seem tired, so next time we'll talk about who Jesus want to come back as. And that's when I like really like removed myself from Blair and Nita, and it ended up being the lady who I didn't know. We'll call her Tracy. She was from like the Caribbeans or something like that. But I started distancing myself because I'm like, there started to be too many weird stuff about this pastor, and I feel like this is getting too deep. And also, you're not about to sit here and tell me my God is coming back as this man. So I just distanced myself. And they're like, you know, I even like had my like number changed. Not from them, just because I got a new phone, but also they were a little key factor in there. But also it's just like, I wanted a new number anyways, because I didn't like the Georgia number I had before. I didn't like how it looked. Man, I don't know. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't like how the number looked. That's such a stupid reason to change your phone number. It looked ugly to me. Because it was a 678 number, and I wanted a 404 number. Isn't that childish? Anyways, so Blair, cause she was basically like the leader of this group. Think of it that way. She was like, hey, like, you know, I tried calling you, you know, you haven't answered anything like that. I was wondering if anything is okay. I just ignored it. I did. Blair was around like in her 30s, and me and Nita were like the same age, and Tracy, like the newer lady that like just like got into the group, she was like in her like 30s too. So I think that's like maybe why like Blair was more so like the leader, just because she was older. I don't know. Maybe she was into this cult longer before I knew it was a cult, but now thinking back on it. But I wasn't really able to look up anything like in the group, because they didn't tell me who the pastor's name was. They just kept going by some same name. So it was really hard for me to like look up. Nita, she ended up moving. She ended up graduating. And graduating from a very popular college for acting. She got her acting degree and she moved to California. She's been in a couple things on BT I've seen, and she's like in something like new that's on like HBO plus stars, something like that. She was in, it was a fairly like popular like drama series like show. It's more like I don't want to say it's like P-Valley, but it's like that, you know, like that urban feel, that urban vibe show. And it's so shocking, right? Because it's like, they were like super, super, super religious, her as well. And it was like, oh, what? You're in these shows? Huh. Not to say that I judge like anybody or like don't want to, like wouldn't be in those shows. I'd be in those shows too. Like, you know, I would. I even watch like shows like that. So I don't care. But it was shocking for me because like, they were so into religion and stuff like that. So I was excited, you know, a little bit. Like, maybe she got out of this weird group too. I just knew it as a weird group. And I was thinking like low-key a cult, but I was like, nah, I'm over-exaggerating. I was just thinking like, okay, she got out of this thing too, and I'm so happy if she did. I tried like looking up like, if they still follow the one church group. And I think the church group was actually called Providence. Because that's the only way I could like recognize like the members and stuff like that, because of who like Blair's likes were on her you know, on your Facebook. It should, like, if you like things and it's not private, people can see like the pages you've liked. So that's the only way I knew it was like Providence Church. I knew that, but at the time it wasn't really on the internet really. But a couple of years went by and I was like, man, I wonder how Nita's doing. I really wonder that. So, you know, I Googled her, you know, I seen like, okay, she had Instagram, you know, that's cool, you know, I'll follow her on there. We were still friends on, Facebook. I was still friends with Blair, and Tracy on Facebook, because it was just like, I didn't want to like cause like a scene that I was like leaving the friend group. I wanted it to just look real subtle, like, you know, like I'm just drifting out, because I didn't like saying like, oh, I'm busy and stuff like that. So I was just like starting to wonder, like, was I in a cult? Because that's when Cults and Extreme Beliefs came out. And I was like, man, that thing was weird. Was I in a cult? Like this whole Bride of God thing. So I tried looking up Brides of God on Google. I saw a little bit, and then also South Korea, but I saw a little bit, but it was like a couple of those like types of things going on there. So I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. But then like I went back to Blair's Facebook page, and I looked on her likes again, and I just started clicking through stuff, clicking, and then I seen this name, I forgot it. Jeong Seok. Yeah, I think that's what the name was. And I was like, bro, that's the guy in the picture. That's the guy. And then also in like the documentary they made me watch, I know this face. So boom, Google Jeong Seok. Seen he's in jail for 10 years for like rape or something like that with like multiple women's, and he's like this cult leader. And I was like, and it was talking about like other people, like, and how they met like the like members of the cult, and how they were like, how they actually got into it. You know, I didn't fully get into it because it was starting to get weird. But yeah, they started like talking, like so the South Korean Providence church, it went to like Australia, apparently it touched Atlanta, it was in California I think too. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I was really in a cult. That's crazy. And so I just thought, I was so shocked by this, guys, that what did I do? I copied and pasted the links, and I sent them to Nita's Facebook Messenger. We haven't talked, you know, this has been like 2 years now. We haven't, around that time. we haven't spoke, you know. She's even in California now. I don't see that she writes anything about Providence or Blair or anything like that. So it's I'm thinking like, okay, you know, maybe she got out too. Yes. But I sent her the links. And I was also like low-key looking for like an apology. Like, ha, I caught you. You guys were trying to set me up. Y'all was trying to set me up for the okie doke. No. I was like, look, that's why I was like looking for an apology, because like, you really dragged me into this, because she was in there longer than I was. It wasn't like she was a newcomer. I was the only newcomer to this thing. Tracy was just new to our group, but she's been big in this thing too. But y'all, I sent that to Nita. All she did was read it. Like, no, I'm sorry. No, oh, I didn't know. No, oh, I did know, and I'm so happy you got out. No, nothing. Just scene. Scene? You were in this thing with me. How did you just leave me on scene? Like, this never happened to you? What the? I almost said the F word on YouTube. It's crazy enough to make you want to say what the F. I can say what the F though, because it's a letter. But yeah, so that was the end of it, you know. And I'm just like, I hope these girls can get out of this thing, because Blair has actually been to South Korea, I guess, to see Sunseok, just to see him before, you know, he actually went to jail. Thing was a low-key sex call. Wow. Because they were even talking about like going to, like, we could all go to South Korea, you know, to see him in the church. And it's like, it's crazy. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. I was almost in a cult. Yes, I'm not making this up. I really wish I were, but I just thank God that I listened to like my heart and my spirit, because everything was just like, something's not right about this. And I'm so happy I trusted my gut, and I got out, and I only wasted like a month, maybe slightly even a little bit over a month. Wow. I'm so thankful, because man, who knows where I'd be in my mindset and what I'd be doing or anything, you know. I'd probably still be in that thing to this day, but I'm not. So yeah, I'm really thankful for that. I think they're still up and running, unfortunately, and like their website says he was wrongfully accused of these things. That's how all the cult leaders end up getting, you know, in jail and stuff like that. But alright, for real this time, I hope you liked this video today, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.